So we are Steppe Gold, one of the world's newest gold producers, newest low-cost gold producers. We just started production in 2020. We are focused in Mongolia, the home to world-class mining discoveries with the Oyu mine, and we are now the first mover advantage as a gold producer and developer in country.
Welcome to the NAI 500 CEO interview program, where the senior management from select listed companies will share their insights with the audience about their company's growth potential. In this episode, we had the opportunity to speak to Anil Viraj, the Executive VP of Steppe Gold. TS is a listed company with a trading symbol of STGO. Steppe Gold is a gold producing company with operating mine in Mongolia. A few highlights our readers should know before watching the interview. Steppe has commenced production since 2020. In Phase 1, it is forecasted to produce 60,000 ounces of gold annually. Steppe has a proven local team with strong social license to operate and have strong local support. Not only the company's current production is low cost, it also has potential for expansion. Its UK project provides exploration upside potential. If you enjoy our video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay alert of our future content. Hi, and you're welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so maybe you can tell us a bit about your company background. Tell us more about Steppe Gold here.
Sure. So Steppe Gold is listed on the main board of the Toronto Stock Exchange. We listed in May 2018. Actually, we're the only gold mining IPO in 2018. So in a very tough market, we actually listed our company, raised the funds, and built our first mine, which is now in commercial production, actually generating over 20 million of US of EBITDA in our first 2 quarters during startup and ramp up. So we're off to a strong start, what looks to be at the right time. You know, we listed when gold was $1,250 and built our mine on that assumption. And now we have an extra $650 of gold price to work with it. So we're in a favorable position to bring production online for the first time.
That's good to know. Maybe you can elaborate a bit more on the operations of your ATO mine, I believe, and tell us more, maybe the cost, the mine life, etc.
Absolutely. So we purchased this ATO mine from Steppe Gold in 2017. They had previously spent about 30 million US on the project and actually completed a feasibility study to build a heap leach, a CIL plant, and flotation circuit all at once. What we did is take a phased approach. We built the heap leach, which is a 4 to 5 year mine life that's currently in production, that has all-in costs tracking towards $650 US. So our first 2 quarters were in the 700s, and as we continue optimizing, this year we'll be on a run rate of about $650 US all-in cost. So it's a high margin starter project that will produce between 50 to 60,000 ounces a year. We'll then take that cash flow from this Phase 1 and fund the expansion into Phase 2, which is the CIL plant and flotation circuit, focused on the sulfides that are 40 meters below. So the oxides, which is the Phase 1 mine, is the top 40 meters from surface, and Phase 2 will be the next 10 years of mine life at a run rate at about 150,000 ounces a year that we'll start expanding on this year. So it's a very exciting project that we took a phased approach using our own cash flow to fund our expansion of our company.
That's good to hear. So we talk about Mongolia here. Maybe all the audience will ask, why Mongolia? Why would you be able to execute compared to many others? It's not that many mines over there that investors know aware about. Maybe you can tell us why you'll be able to execute so well in Mongolia.
Absolutely. So Mongolia is, what we think is one of the last frontiers. As you may know, actually, Mongolia's biggest trading partner is China. Mongolia is a resource-rich country, relatively underexplored, about 6% explored, but it's already home to the world-class discoveries and assets. With the Oyu mine, with the expansion online in a few years, it'll be the top 3 mine in the world. So we know that you can discover and build world-class assets. Our focus is on precious metals, which has not been a focus of many companies. And so we do have a track record of building and selling in country. In fact, our chairman and CEO of Steppe Gold previously built a company called Hunu Coal in 2010 It was a 20 million IPO, and it was a $500 million cash sale in 2011. So one is we do have a track record of execution in country, which is very important. Second, we consider ourselves Mongolian. So we consider ourselves a local company. Just like Hunu Coal, there was 300 employees upon that sale, only 3 were expats. Today, Steppe Gold has a Mongolian CEO, half our board are Mongolian, and all our staff in country, except for 2, are Mongolian. So that this allows, this is how you should run a business in any jurisdiction, not just Mongolia. The more local you are, the more support you'll get, and that's how you can execute properly. And we've certainly seen that. Earlier in 2020, that's when we wanted to bring production online, and we couldn't get any expats in the country. So we brought production online for the first time ever because we had that local skilled workforce in country already. So that's very important to have that, because then you don't rely on expats to run your business. And when people can't travel in and out of the country, you would have delays. And thankfully, we didn't have any of that. So I think that's very important of how we run our business and how we've been successful. And we've certainly seen that support by the government. So the government is also an investor in our company, and they've also advanced us capital towards our phase 2 expansion that I mentioned earlier on. So clearly we're doing things properly, and we're showing that we're getting support at all levels.
This is a pretty good approach indeed to gain local support. And you mentioned earlier about the expansion of your mine. Maybe you can tell us more what sort of the timeline we're looking at. Where are we here now for the phase 2?
Yeah, so actually, we're putting out our resource update in the coming weeks, or let's just call it a month or so. This is our 40,000 meters plus of drilling that we've completed more on the sulfides, which is the phase 2, because we're actually adding a new discovery. So when we bought the project, there was another new discovery called Mung, less than half a kilometer away from the core ATO deposits. Mung means silver in Mongolian. This was discovered as a higher grade deposit that has never been put into any technical report, has never had any feasibility work, metallurgical work completed. So we're actually putting a new resource on Mung, updating the ATO deposits, and we're completing a feasibility study as we speak, a revised feasibility study on this expansion project. We expect to deliver that feasibility study to the market by the end of Q2 of this year, which means we'll break ground on the expansion this summer. So very quickly, very seamlessly, we'll move to our second project, which is the expansion project. It's already fully permitted and licensed. So there are no barriers to grow. It's just a matter of revising the numbers, adding new ounces that never existed, and doing some additional feasibility work. So that'll be completed about 18 months after we start breaking ground. So realistically, end of 2022, early 2023, this expansion project will be online. And that's where it'll take our production profile from 50 to 60,000 ounces to a target of 150,000 ounces on a gold equivalent basis. That's gold, silver with some lead and zinc concentrates. That becomes a real big company at that point. 150,000 ounces with a target of 10-year mine life at that time, which we think will continue to be extended. Again, the cost structure will be quite low, like the phase 1, maybe a bit higher than $650 all in, but call it 800 even. You can see it's a highly profitable phase 2 expansion and generates a lot of cash.
Great to hear. So you talked about having a good team there. How about the shareholders? Would you want to highlight some key shareholders that support your company?
Absolutely. So very early on, when we started this company in 2016 and 17 as a private company, we had backers like Triple Flag Mining Finance that are backed by Elliott Management out of New York. So that's obviously a blue chip partner and investor we have on our roster. We have some family offices both out of the US and Europe that have supported us. And most recently, Eric Sprott put in $15 million into the company. So in the summer of 2020, after we built the mine, Eric made his first investment into a Mongolian company, into Steppe Gold. And so now he's obviously a large shareholder, very supportive. And I think it was a great endorsement to have someone like Eric make his first investment into a company like Steppe Gold.
So in some way, do you think Steppe Gold is undervalued at this point, or why should investors consider investing into your company? Yeah.
Sure. Well, I think having production that's profitable out of the gate is obviously a favorable position to be in. It means that we have less need to raise equity on the market. So from a dilution perspective, there's no immediate dilution if anyone's looking at that, worried about the financing overhangs. But certainly we believe we are undervalued. We have a couple banks that cover us today with targets between $4 and I believe $4.70 Canadian for a 1-year target. We're trading at $2.50 range today. Most of our peers will trade at 2 to 3 times our current valuation. So we haven't re-rated as yet. We have 35 million US approximately on the balance sheet, and that balance sheet continues to grow. So we have balance sheet strength, we have continued production, and we have a significant amount of upside through expansion and exploration. And I believe more banks will be covering us as well. So we're in that sweet spot where not a lot of people have paid attention to us, and they're starting to pay attention now. So I guess now is the time to buy before a company like us would re-rate. And we're not dependent on a higher gold price either. We make a lot of money, as you can imagine, at current prices.
Thank you, Anil, for your time here today, for sharing with us about the growth potential of the really interesting gold producer in Mongolia. So maybe until next time, we'll share more again. Thank you again for speaking with us here today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, Anil. If you enjoy our video, please like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you can stay alert of our future content.